the risk really off, or are we being set up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Gabby Trades, your go-to for smart crypto trading, price action breakdowns, and trading insights. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Please like the video and subscribe if you haven't. Also, press that bell notification so you get notified every single time that I am live. You guys, what's going on? Market is consolidating after a massive move up, well, at least the Bitcoin markets. And today I want to show you how you can trade that. So stay tuned. I think today is going to be quite helpful stream for you guys. First up, in the section that you can't make this stuff up, I was going to say four more. President Donald Trump is hosting an exclusive dinner at his national golf club on May 22nd. But you guys, here's the twist. It's only for the top 220 holders of his Trump meme coin. Yes, you actually heard that right. Invest in the coin and you might just get to break bread with Donald Trump himself. Talk about putting money where your mouth is. Now, since the announcement, the Trump coin has absolutely skyrocketed over 50%, adding a cool 700 million to its market cap. And even one enthusiastic investor even shelled out 1.5 million to climb up the ranks. That's one really expensive entry, if you ask me. Now, moving on to regulatory rodeo, Paul Atkins has been sworn as the new chairman of the SEC. Known for his pro-crypto stance, Atkins is expected to bring a lighter crypto regulations, lighter touch. It's going to be actually quite good. So you guys, that's for the warm-up today. Market is kind of a mix of meme magic and monetary mayhem right now. But the good news is that the whales are accumulating and there is so many ETF inflows coming in right up. For the past 24 hours has been insane. So it's good to see what the whales are doing. It's a good signal. And like we spoke yesterday, that might mean that soon we could get a deal and this could push the market really, really high up. All right, so let's now go to the charts and see what's been going on. First, let's say hi to everyone. Who do we have here? All right, let me just share a screen quickly. So is Sugar Cookie here? My assistant is missing today. We have Trader 80, Fountain of Mark Bass, Wolf Whistle, GB, Dottie, Larry, and who else? Some random bloke. Go, Gabby, go. Okay, you guys, we're gonna talk about some interesting stuff today in terms of trading, but also let's review first what's going on in the markets. Again, so Sugar Cookie is not here, so that means someone else needs to tell me if the music is too low or too high. And yes, press the like button if you haven't, and let's move on to the charts. Actually, I need to adjust my chat first so I can see you guys, and the chat has deleted for me, so please start typing so I can see what you guys are saying. It's low. Okay, thank you, Eddie. Let's move it up a little bit. Is that better? That should be fine for you guys. Okay, so Peter is saying that the volume is perfect now. It might be a bit loud. I don't know. Okay, you know what? Let's just put it down a little bit more. All right, legends. So what's been going on? Yesterday, we took a short trade during the live session on Bitcoin. It was a very, very short, very long trade for me to hold. So I was really exhausted of holding it, and I wasn't planning to hold over Asia session. And I came out down here and I took the position, 80% of the position, and the rest I was taking on break even up here. And then, of course, it went down and hit take profit during Asia and a little bit after Asia, which is very annoying. But hey, it's better for scalps like this, in my opinion, to close before the Asia session, because you never know what burger the Asia session is going to give you. Now, first, we're going to do a little bit of an overview, so just everyone is up to speed. Of course, the people that are watching me know a lot more, but not everyone is it's been, you know, here for months. So you guys, basically, I want to start actually on the monthly, because my members of my Discord and also the people that watch my live streams know very well what was my bias for this monthly candle. Now, we had last month's candle close like this one down here. March. So I said that my bias for the coming month, April, is that I want to see a candle come up and fill that wick here from March. And this is exactly what we're seeing right now. So, I'm very glad to see that. But these things, you guys, is actually very easy to spot, right? When you look at wicks and candles like that, you need to understand that most of the times when they're like super large, they get filled. Right, so that's why I had this bias here, and obviously in general we were bullish, so that's how it happened. The one thing that I did not know it's going to happen though is that we're going to take the March lows before that. Now I did not expect that to happen, but we saw it happening. Whatever. Okay, so now we've been trading extremely crazy for the past few days. Like, we've been going up insanely on Bitcoin. What is the red flag with that? Well, the red flag with that was that this happened while NASDAQ and all the other traditional markets were actually dropping, right? We had a drop on NASDAQ happening before they started, before they started kind of aligning, where yesterday NASDAQ was bullish and, Bitcoin as well. So it was kind of like, okay, are they now coupled? Are they now back to being coupled, or are they actually decoupling? And today we're seeing a little bit more signs to the fact that they're actually decoupled big time, because now we're seeing that NASDAQ today is opening with a massive bullish sentiment on New York. And what's happening to crypto? Of course, we're looking at Bitcoin. We're not seeing the same bullishness, right? We're not seeing the same bullishness. It's very, very weak. And what's happening is that we're now developing a range. So today I want to show you, when you're in a range structure, how can you trade that range on every single time frame, right? Be it the 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minutes, weekly time frame. Ideally you want to trade it on a lower time frame than the weekly, but I'm going to show you today how you can do that. So basically, like I said with you, a signal for me, a red flag for me, is when I see Bitcoin and NASDAQ decoupling. So of course, the fact that we're reaching to a massive sell zone on Bitcoin, which is 95,000, and we haven't even, we extended a lot, but the high that we made is at 94,715. And we know that our double liquidity sits right here at, what are we looking at? 95K, 94,000, 95K Bitcoin. So we know that this is a major double formation liquidity. We were prepared for that for months, right? Months. Well, months is a bit like far-fetched, but like from the beginning of March, since we took the lower end of the double liquidity, now we want to see the upper. I've been saying that. I kept repeating it. Now it's happening. Don't tell me I'm repeating myself. It's just what it is. So basically, I want to see that liquidity taken. And this pullback yesterday for me was a very simple short scalp, because I'm expecting for price to exhaust a little bit here, consolidate, either before the move up or either before a manipulation down, right? Or either we get a manipulation down and then we find an entry to get back long. This is basically what I'm expecting. Now we're going to talk about the areas on where I want to see that. Let me see if you can see prices. Yes, you can. Okay, that's great. So we're going to move to the range trading. Actually, let's do it right now. Why not? Everyone's here. Let's see how many people we have. Okay, we have a good number of people. All right. So basically, when you have a range, when you have identified, and I teach that in, I think, of one of my videos, I have the market structures videos, you guys. You should go ahead and check it out. It's really important that you use my fib tool for the price, premium, and discount level on the ranges that have developed. All right. We've spoke about 3 market structures with you guys, right? We spoke about 3 market structures. Let me know in the chat box, do you remember the 3 market structures? You guys have been students of mine now for quite a while. What do we have? We have a ranging market, we have a trending market, and we have a super strong extended market. That's what we have. Now, the thing is, when we enter in a range, we know how to trade a range, right? We want to see price bounce from the 0.786, bounce from the 0.236, bounce from the 0.786, bounce from the 0.236, and so on and so forth until the range is broken. Is that clear? Now, so when we identify that we're in a range and we don't know if price is going to break to the upside or to the downside, how are you going to trade that? Well, it's very, very simple, right? So first of all, the way I see this is if I see that price has extended and is starting to slow down, my first reaction is, was there a liquidity sweep up here? Yes, there was. So now I want to go short, which I did yesterday, with a potential of this developing as a range, which is exactly what happened. Now, from here, do I have any idea if the range is going to break to the upside or to the downside? No, I actually have zero clue. So my best bet is from here to trade the range that's in front of me. So in that case, I'm looking on a 15-minute time frame, but you can identify the range also on a 4-hour time frame and trade it on the 15-minute time frame, right? So what you want to do is you want to be positioned every single time the range, after you've identified that you're developing a range, every single time you want to identify a short position with a stop loss right above the range. And you always want to be taking your first take profit at the 0.5, which is the equilibrium of the range. And you want to be taking the second take profit at the 0.786. And guess what happens? Sorry, at the 0.236. So guess what happens when price reaches at the 0.236? Well, then you have another position. You have a long position immediately with a stop loss below the range, and you do the exact same exercise. You take profit at the 0.5 and you take profit at the 0.786, and you play that until price exits from that range. Now, the good thing about this trading is that you can do that at least 2 or 3 times. If you're trading on a lower time frame, you're gonna have setups like this even more than like 5, right, in a range, especially during Asia session. Like, this is very, very helpful. So the thing is, eventually you're going to hit one stop loss, that's for sure, because the range is going to be exited either to the upside or to the downside. But by that time, you've already banked so much that you don't really care. And also it's part of the plan, right? It's part of the plan. So like I said, most important is take profit at the 0.5, enter at the 0.236 or the 0.786, leave a runner to catch the rest of the position at the edges, the premium or the discount of those edges, of the range edges, and then you're good to go. So that's pretty much one thing I decided I'm going to give you today, because I was planning to keep all these stuff for the course, right, for the mentorship, but there's so much more I can teach you in the course and the mentorship. So I figured, why the hell not? I'll give you guys this, so at least you know how to trade ranges. But actually, if you're smart enough, right, I've given you these videos on the market structures, and I've told you so many times before how you trade a range that you should know it by yourself, right? How you enter, where you put your stop loss. But I feel like it doesn't come that natural to everyone. So here's the explanation for it. Okay, so we're finding ourselves now in this range. We don't know where we're gonna exit. Nasdaq, let's see what Nasdaq is doing right now. Nasdaq is being super strong. It seems like it wants to go for this high. Let's have a look at Dow Jones. Someone brought my attention to the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is looking quite nice. It filled the gap to the downside, and then it was a clear long from here. And if it wasn't clear for you, you guys, here it is. You have the last leg to the downside, clearly reaching a POI. What's a POI? Point of interest. What's point of interest? Well, it's reaching the end of the gap zone, right? So that's the last leg. So where is your last bullish candle? Where it's here. This is your order block, right? This is your order block here. So extend the order block. Now, what do you have? You have an order block plus a price imbalance. You have price trade back into it. And of course, with New York Open trades back into it again, and then it explodes to the upside. Well, that's a very, very clean setup. So congratulations to anyone that catched this long, because it's very good. All right, Cloud Chaser, I need some, can you tell me, he needs some hope. Tell me if there is hope that we will see Ethereum above 2K. Cloud Chaser, we spoke about Ethereum so many times, and I've given you guys my bias for Ethereum and my price expectations on Ethereum. But since you want to, let's repeat it again. That's no problem. We can do that for you, mate. So again, using the same theory, we're using the this is the price leg that we're trading for many years on Ethereum. We extended to the 0.236 on ETH, which was a massive red flag that happened back again, like years back again, 2022 down here. This was where Ethereum lost its strength, right? It's not something new, actually. It's so funny to me that all these influencers, right, have been talking about Ethereum 10,000, and nobody, not a single one person went out and said, oh, you know what, in 2022 it actually teethed the bed and we're never gonna see it with high prices, because this is what happens, right? When you have a price leg, when you reach to the 0.236, you know that your next extension is at 0.786. and you reject from there. So it happened once, one rejection, two rejections, three rejections. This is how you trade this. So to be honest with you, Cloud Chaser, I've said it multiple times, and I'm gonna say it again. Ethereum has a very good chance to reach to 3,884. There is some liquidity above on ETH. It's not this, because it's already been taken. I remember there was some liquidity up here at around the 4,400, but this is going to push it very much. I won't be keeping anything like at that point, right? I'm out 100% at 3,884 on Ethereum. Does that make sense for you guys? Because I don't believe that this is going to go, at least this cycle. We're not going to see new all-time highs for ETH. It's not going to happen. It just doesn't make sense. Like, it could happen, but something needs to happen. They need to do something. And actually, we had Mr. Vane yesterday on the live saying that he has some insider information on Ethereum that they're doing something very crazy. And if that is true, if Ethereum pulls some really cool game, then maybe we can see it explode on new all-time highs. But again, I'm a very conservative trader. I would not be looking for anything but sells once we reach the 0.786, which is at 3,884 on Ethereum. I hope that makes sense for you guys. You know, better safe than sorry, right? Did you have any shorts running before the BTC breakout to 90K? Yes, I had shorts running. My community knows. I'm not sure, Shyam, if you are in my community, but I did have shorts, of course. Oh, actually, Shyam, I think I know who you are. Sorry, right? I just realized. So you're probably not in my community. That's absolutely fine. Let's delete that range bound thing. Yes, with the community, we were short many times. We had a short. I had a short down here. I had a short down here after Trump's speech. It's very easy to trade these speeches now, because, you know, if you're an experienced trader, you know that when Donald Trump is speaking, or any political figure, usually what happens is you get a massive wick and you get a sell-off. So that was quite easy for me. One sec, what happened here? Oh no, that's not good. Can I do ZY? No, sorry you guys, I pressed something. I need to move it actually to my Twitter. Hold on one sec. All right, we're good. For some reason, my streaming platform doesn't like Doesn't like trading view. But anyway, so yeah, I was short here. It was going quite well. We've been writing the price moves quite nicely. The only thing that I didn't do, right? The only thing that I didn't do, no, I did not hit stop loss. Shiam, you probably don't know how I trade. I did not hit stop loss. What I do is I take the trades and I bank profits on the way, and then I move my stop loss to break even. So at this low on my zone, I was out of my position 80%. At which point I just leave 20% runner in case we see new lower lows. And what I do is I move my stop loss to break even. So then I was taken out at break even at around almost 88k Bitcoin at my last short trade. So no, it was quite a successful trade. I banked a lot on it, so I'm quite happy with it. The only thing I did not do is go long here. Unfortunately, there was lots of confirmation. There was confirmations on the 5 minute, there was confirmation on the 15 minute. Eventually we had confirmation on the 4 minute, on the 4 hour time frame, but I did not want to go long because of course we've been scalping through the way. I went long Ethereum or whatever. I had a long on ETH, but that's not the point. The point is that I'm more excited about taking a short from here. Scott, hello. So yeah, if you've been watching me for a while, you know exactly what trades I've taken because I take some of them live. All of them, not some of them, all of them I take together with my community on Discord so everyone sees. I give my signals over there. If you guys haven't joined Discord, there is a link in the chat box. There is a link under the description box. It's completely free. You can get your VIP role simply by following the instructions. Once you join Discord, you're gonna find out how you can do that. So yeah, do that, you guys, because that's where I give all my signals and my community knows exactly what I do and how I manage my trades. All right, cool. So to summarize real quick, we're looking for Bitcoin to reach 95k from where we are significantly looking to position ourselves short, right? Significantly. We want to see this double liquidity formation taken. We have a sell zone above that. And then once we're short from here, now let's talk about what are the opportunities for us to get involved back long in case we start developing a new higher low, right? Because the two case scenarios that are happening right now is either we break. Okay, actually there's three. We can either break from the 95k zone with a lot of strength and go and reach to upwards to the 100k levels where inevitably there's going to be some sort of rejection. Try our luck over there to catch a short at the 95k or wherever we go. Upon confirmation we short. We never short randomly. And then the plan from here is that we need to position ourselves for a potential. So then I'm gonna hedge, right, long on a retrace that makes sense for me. Now, usually, how am I going to choose my retrace points? Well, if I didn't have my trading indicators, which by the way, you guys, you can purchase, they're only $19.99 per month. So like almost 20 bucks. I regularly run discounts on them. But yeah, let's say I didn't have my indicators and I don't know where the zones are, right? So what am I going to look at then? Where my first impression from this leg up is going to be, where was the last range? Okay, so it was here. This was the last range. So I'm going to wait for price to potentially pull back here and then hope to find some sort of confirmation on lower time frame to go long. So yes, this is one zone, this range here between, what are we looking at, 83,000 and 86,000. We know that we have the point of control over there as well. So we're either going to pull back to here and then we're going to position ourselves hedge long while we've taken profits on the short and we move stop loss to break even just in case. So when we start pulling back, we're making money both ways. And then, so basically the idea from here is to find where to do that from. Now, you can use the volume profile for that. Interestingly, like on a daily, you can see that the point of control for the volume profile is actually where our sell zone starts. What else do we have? Do we have any other confluences over there? Well, what do you know? It's just above the daily fair value gap as well. So it's very possible that we might wick this whole area and reject from it. Now, looking at the volume profile, delete please. Where is my volume profile? Here. What am I going to look at? Where is the single prints? Where are the single prints of this volume profile? From here, you guys, just look at this action. Like, where is the deepest point? Well, it's here, right? So you're looking for price to most likely come back to these single prints here from the volume profile that are sitting at around 90,000 Bitcoin, right? We're looking 90,000 Bitcoin to 90,700. So this is the zone. What else do we have there in terms of confluences? Well, we have the daily bullish imbalance that we've created with this move up, right? Okay, very interesting. What else do we have? Well, what do you know? We also have our 12-hour resistance and our daily resistance, which is exactly between these levels. So what I'm going to be looking at is to catch along from, again, around the single print. So this is how I would identify a little bit more precisely how I'll enter this. And of course, you're using confirmation, right? So what else do you have here, right? What else do you have? Well, you have a massive order block here, which has now, price has been traded through. So now that's not an order block anymore. That's a breaker block. So you have now additional confluence that this area might be retested. What else do you have? What else do you have? Well, just below the area of interest, you also have the previous weekly high where price broke through. Okay, so that is giving you guys confirmation that this zone over here is probably where price is going to retrace to. And again, to be more specific, I use the volume profile to find the single prints. I use the fair value gap, and I bet you, even without using my tool, that this is going to be the 0.5. This is going to be the 0.5, which is here, of the price imbalance, right? Of this price imbalance, right? This is the 0.5 of the price imbalance right here, right here. 90,317. So am I going to position myself in over there for longs? Absolutely, right? If we get a retrace. Does that make sense, you guys? Shiam Moses, 97K fib zone resistance. Yes, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Okay, you guys, when you give me any of your fib zones or whatever, understand that I might not be using the same fib tool that you're using, which is probably the golden pocket or whatever. I don't use that specifically right now for this price action, right? Yes. Okay, so that's pretty much for Bitcoin. Let's have a look real quick at Ethereum, at the very disappointing Ethereum. All right, so let's look at the very okay. Solios is asking, the setup you mentioned, where would the stop loss be? Okay, let's go back and talk about that a bit. Okay, so you guys, first of all, when this happens, right? Actually, think about it. Next week, I'm going to be at Token, so probably I won't be at the charts so much, but still I'm going to try to update you guys on Discord for everything I see on the charts, and we're going to watch it very carefully. But yeah, so let's have a look for potential stop losses. So, you know, unfortunately, yes, it is a big zone. It is a big zone, but you need to, I think, you know, if I enter, and this is out of no price action, right? We have no price action here, because if we have developed some price action here, then I'll tell you, okay, here is my stop loss. But now, without having any idea on where I would want to position my stop loss, I would probably tell you that it's going to be somewhere around the 88K, like 88.3 or in the 88K zone area, but not exactly specific at where it's going to be, because I don't have price action right now to tell you. but potentially below that low, something like that. All right, let's move for ETH right now and see what's happening. Well, again, disappointing news for ETH. The only good thing is that we have this liquidity up here on the 12-hour, so we know that price is going to go there. But unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, we wanted for Ethereum to break this level to show us that it's extremely bullish, and it's not doing that right now. So it's not very bullish, right? Until proven otherwise. We need to break this level, and we need to have a body close above it. Until then, I'm not bullish on ETH whatsoever. But there is some very interesting areas that if price starts returning back to, I'm going to be interested in participating. Right? I'm going to be interested in participating. So first of all, right, we've broken to price to the upside here. I'm looking at this last leg because it reacted very beautifully from our zone. You know, you guys, I was long from down here. These are my zones for Ethereum that I have set for since the beginning of March. So you guys know very well when I was long here ETH. We had a second tap into the level again, beautifully, a retrace from that level, completely reversal, leaving a nice inverted fair value gap over here. So there is several POIs here that I'm going to be looking at for Ethereum to bleed down to, so I can re-enter into a long position. So we're going to be watching ETH as well very carefully. But again, that's going to be the area where I would like to reposition myself on ETH a little bit deeper than Bitcoin. I think actually earlier I looked at it a little bit more in depth, and there were actually several POIs here. Yes, right. Okay, so was I looking on the 12-hour? I think I was. Yes, basically, so again, we have an order block that's now pretty much turned into a breaker block. Over here, we have an inverted fair value gap. So we have several confluences to go off long here. And obviously, we had the range here. So again, it's going to be a nice pullback within that area where I'm going to be looking for longs on ETH. You guys are most welcome. I don't know what else we can talk about today. I'm not interested in looking at alts right now. Cetus is going absolutely crazy. I just saw that before the stream. This is what I was looking for, you guys, and you know very well that it's done everything that it needed to do to prove me that it's going to be very, very bullish. So we had one break here, we got the second break here, we even have a third break now. It's only buys from here, I think. Lots of imbalances left, of course, during this price move up. So you know, it's going to be nice to find some moves here. If we pull out our indicators, or my indicators that are available for you guys, of course, the first zone that comes to my mind is this inverted fair value gap over here as a zone of entry. So potentially, if price starts returning, let's say it taps into this bearish fair value gap and then it starts bleeding down, I would probably like to get involved somewhere around 0.12405, right? So because this coin actually is looking quite nice. The all-time high is liquidity, which is something that is very rare to see on an altcoin. Okay, so quite interested in this, catching this move, to be fair with you guys. But of course, everything will depend on how Bitcoin is moving and how the market is moving, because if we're rejecting from the 95K level and we start dropping, we have to be in a sell, in my opinion, because you never know if this price is going to create a lower high, sorry, a higher low, or is going to create a lower low. We don't know that, right? Nobody knows that. If someone's telling you that they know that, they don't. Okay, so you just need to play it safe. And that's it pretty much for today. You guys, this is the last live stream for the next couple of weeks, because next week I am going to be at Token 2049 Dubai. If you guys are coming, come say hi if you're not. I'm going to record my attendance over there, and you guys are going to be kept up to date on my Instagram and everywhere else. So yeah, it was lovely to have you today, everyone. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Next week is going to be only pre-records. I'm going to try to record some educational stuff for you guys. So, you know, I'm being of help as always. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.